In this video, we are going to discuss GCE O-Level Mathematics October-November 2023 paper 2. The subject code is 4052. Hello everyone, Dennis here. This video is brought to you by Ace with Dennis. Now, learning can be smart, not hard. Also, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell notification button to stop missing out free lessons from me. Question 1. Given this table. A. The table shows the resident population of Singapore in 3 years. 1. Write the 2010 resident population in standard form, correct to 3 significant figures. 1 mark. So this is the resident population in the year 2010. And if we want to write in standard form, correct to 3 significant figures, it will be 3.77 times 10 to the power of 6. 2. Calculate the percentage increase in the resident population from 2000 to 2020. 2 marks. So these two data is the resident population in the year 2000 and the year 2020. To calculate the percentage increase, the formula will be the new value minus the original value divided by the original value times 100%. So the new value will be the resident population in the year 2020 and the original value will be the resident population in the year of 2000. Hence, substitute the value into this formula and we calculate, we'll get 23.5% to 3 significant figures. 3. In 2000, 18.7% of the total population of Singapore was non-residents. Calculate the total population of Singapore in 2020. 2 marks. So this is the resident population in the year 2000. So 18.7% of the total population was non-resident. So from here, the percentage resident is 100% minus 18.7%, which is 81.3%. We want to calculate the total population. It will be 3,273,363 divided by 81.3% and then times with 100%. And we'll get 4,030,000 rounded off to 3 significant figures. Hence, this will be the answer. B. Population density is defined as the number of people per square kilometer. In 2020, the population density of Singapore was 7,810 people per square kilometer. In 2020, the total population of Singapore was 5.69 million. Calculate the area of Singapore. 2 marks. So based on the definition given, the population density formula will be the total population divided by the total area. Hence, we rearrange this formula to get the total area will be the total population divided by the population density. Then we can substitute the value inside here, 5,690,000 divided by 7,810, and we'll get 729 kilometers square rounded off to 3 significant figures. C. The diameter of a red blood cell is 7.8 times 10 to the power of -6 meters. In a scale drawing, the diameter of a red blood cell is 3.9 cm. 1. Find the scale used for the drawing. Give your answer in a form n to 1. 2 marks. So to determine the scale, we'll take the length on the drawing divided by the actual length. Hence, for this case, the length or the diameter of the red blood cell is 3.9 centimeters on the drawing and then divided by the actual diameter of the red blood cell, which is 7.8 times 10 to the power of -6. Then we simplify this ratio, we get 3.9 divided by 7.8, then times 10 to the power of -2 minus -6. we'll get 0.5 times 10 to the power 4 to 1 or 5000 to 1. Hence, 5000 will be the answer. 2. Draw to the same scale as the red blood cell. The diameter of a blood platelet is 8 millimeters. Find the actual diameter of the blood platelet. Give your answer in millimeters in standard form. 1 mark. So the first thing we need to do is we'll let x to be the actual diameter of blood platelet. Then 8 divided by x will be equals to 5000 divided by 1. To solve this equation, x will be 8 divided by 5000, which is 0.0016, or in standard form 1.6 times 10 to the power negative 3. Hence, 1.6 times 10 to the power negative 3 is the answer. Question 2. A. Solve 6 minus 7x equals 5 bracket 1 minus 2x. 2 marks. So from the equation given, the first thing we need to do is we expand the bracket and we get 6 minus 7x equals 5 minus 10x. Then we move the x term to the left hand side and move the constant terms to the right hand side. We'll get 10x minus 7x equals 5 minus 6. 3x equals to negative 1, and hence x will be negative 1/3. So negative 1/3 will be the answer. B. Solve the inequality 5 minus y greater than 7. 1 mark. So given this inequality, we'll move the y to the right hand side and move the 7 to the left hand side. We'll get 5 minus 7 is greater than y. Hence, y will be less than negative 2. Therefore, y less than negative 2 is the answer. C. Given this formula. Part 1. Find C when A equals 2 and B equals 4. 1 mark. So this question is pretty straightforward. What we need to do is just substitute the values given into the formula. Then we have C equals 1 over 4 plus 2 over 3 minus 2, which will get 1 over 4 plus 2, and the answer is 2 1/4. So C will be equals 2 1/4. Part 2. Rearrange the formula to make A the subject. 3 marks. So for this case, from the formula given, C equals to 1 over B plus A over 3 minus A, we can see that there are two algebraic fractions at the right hand side. So what we need to do is we need to make them to have the common denominator, which is B times 3 minus A. And for the numerator, it becomes 3 minus A and then plus with AB. The next thing we need to do is we move the denominator to the left hand side. It becomes C times B bracket 3 minus A. That equals to 3 minus A plus AB. Then we expand the bracket, we have 3BC minus ABC equals 3 minus A plus AB. The next thing we need to do is we move all the terms consisting of A to the left hand side and the other terms to the right hand side. So it becomes A minus AB minus ABC equals 3 minus 3BC. Then we can factorize the A for the left hand side and factorize 3 on the right hand side. Then it becomes A bracket 1 minus B minus BC equals 3 bracket 1 minus BC. Hence, A will be 3 bracket 1 minus BC divided by 1 minus B minus BC. So this will be the answer. Also, if you rearrange the formula differently, you might have another alternative answer, but it's actually the same answer shown here. The alternative answer will be 3 bracket BC minus 1 divided by BC plus B minus 1. D. Solve the equation x over 2x minus 1 minus 6 over 4 minus x equals 3. Give your solutions correct to 2 decimal places. 5 marks. So given this equation, the first thing I want to do is I want to change this negative sign or the minus sign here to become plus sign. So when it changed from minus to become plus, I will swap this denominator from 4 minus x becomes x minus 4. Okay, the rest is the same. So this will be x over 2x minus 1 and the right hand side equals to 3. So next one, I want to do is I want to make these two algebraic fractions to have the common denominator, which is 2x minus 1 and then times with x minus 4. For the numerator, this x will multiply with x minus 4, then we get this, and then the right hand side numerator 6 will be multiplied with 2x minus 1, I'll get this one. Then the right hand side the same, equal to 3. So then I will expand the bracket here, which I will get x squared minus 4x plus 12x minus 6 divided by 2x squared minus 8x minus 1 minus x plus 4 equals to 3. Then we simplify, we will get x squared plus 8x minus 6 divided by 2x squared minus 9x plus 4 equals to 3. So once I reach this step, I'll move the denominator to the right hand side, which I will get x squared plus 8x minus 6 equals 3 times 2x squared minus 9x plus 4. Okay, so after that, I will expand the bracket here. I'll get the right hand side is 6x squared minus 27x plus 12. The left hand side, nothing changed, just copy down. After that, I'll move everything for the left hand side to the right hand side so that the left hand side is equal to 0 and the right hand side becomes 5x squared minus 35x plus 18. Okay, so why? Because 6x squared minus x squared, I will get 5x squared minus 27x minus 8x, I will get negative 35x. 12 plus 6, I will get 18. So from here, I can solve this quadratic equation where my a will be 5, b is negative 35, and c is 18. So using the formula x equals negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, I can solve this quadratic equation. Then I just substitute all the values of a, b, and c into this formula. I'll get x equals negative bracket negative 35 plus minus square root of negative 35 squared minus 4 times 5 times 18 divided by 2 times 5. Alright, so I will simplify this equation. I will get 35 plus minus square root of 865 divided by 10. They are solved separately, which is plus or, and the other one is minus. Then press calculator, the first value I get 6.44, rounded off to 2 decimal places because this is required by the question, or x equals to 0.56, also to 2 decimal places. Hence, these two values will be the answers. Question 3. Given this diagram, the diagram shows a solid hemisphere and a solid cylinder. The hemisphere has radius 3y centimeters. The cylinder has radius 2y centimeters and height h centimeters. A. Show that the total surface area of the hemisphere is 27 pi y square centimeter square. 2 marks. So the total surface area of a hemisphere will be equals to the top surface plus with the curved surface. So the top surface is a circle, hence the surface area will be pi r square, and the curved surface will be 2 pi r square. It is half of a sphere. So for a sphere, the total surface area is 4 pi r square, hence for the curved surface of the hemisphere is 2 pi r square. Then we simplify, we'll get 3 pi r square. So the y is 3y, hence we substitute into the equation, it becomes 3 pi bracket 3y square, which we get 27 pi y square, hence shown. B. The total surface area of the cylinder is equal to the total surface area of the hemisphere. Find h in terms of y. 3 marks. So given that the total surface of cylinder equals to the total surface area of hemisphere, hence we can determine the total surface of cylinder, which is 2 circles plus with the curved surface, hence it will be 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. For the total surface area of hemisphere, we have obtained it from part A, which is 27 pi y square. Then from the diagram, we can see that the radius of the cylinder is 2y Then we can substitute into this equation, which becomes 2 pi bracket 2y square plus 2 pi bracket 2y h equals 27 pi y square. We expand and simplify, we'll get 8 pi y square plus 4 pi yh equals 27 pi y square. Then what we need to do is we cancel out the pi for the left hand side and the right hand side. Then equation becomes 8y square plus 4yh equals 27y square. The next thing we need to do is we move the 8y square to the right hand side so that the term with h is left at the left hand side. So the equation becomes 4yh equals 27y square minus 8y square. H will be 19y square over 4y. Simplify, we'll get 19y divided by 4. Hence, 19y over 4 is the answer. C. The volume of the hemisphere is 500 centimeters cubed. Calculate the volume of the cylinder. 4 marks. So to answer this question, first we apply the volume of the hemisphere, which is 2/3 pi r cubed. Then we substitute the volume of the hemisphere is 500 and the radius of the hemisphere is 3y. Hence, the equation becomes 500 equals 2 by 3 pi bracket 3y cubed. Expand and simplify, we get 500 equals 18 pi y cubed. Then we make y cubed the subject, which is 500 over 18 pi. Next, we can apply the formula to find the volume of the cylinder, which is pi r square h, where the radius of the cylinder is 2y and the height of the cylinder is 19y over 4, which is obtained from part B. Then we expand and simplify, we'll get 19 pi y cubed. So the next step we need to do is we just substitute the y cubed as 500 over 18 pi. Then we calculate, we'll get the volume of the cylinder is 527.778 or rounded off to 3SF, which is 528 centimeters cubed. Hence, 528 is the answer. Question 4. Given this table. A. Complete the table for values of y equals 2 over x squared plus 3x minus 1. Values are given to one decimal place where appropriate. 1 mark. Alright, so there's one space in a table, which is when x equals to -3. Then we need to find the value of y. So very simple, just substitute x equals to -3 into the equation given. And calculate, we get answer is -9.8. B. On the grid opposite, draw the diagram of y equals 2 over x squared plus 3x minus 1 for the range of x from -3 to 3, inclusive. 3 marks. Okay, so it's just very straightforward for this question. Plot the graph based on the table given. When x is -3, the y is -9.8, so which is around this point. Next one, x is -2, y is -6.5. I'll get this point. Repeat the same process from -1, -0.5, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, and 3. Okay, so after I plot all this graph, or all the points, I can see that there are two possible ways to draw this graph. Either it can go up and then join this point, go down, and going up again in this manner, or maybe another way around. So how can we tell? What we can do is study the equation here. From the 2 over x squared, we know that x squared cannot be 0. Hence, x equal to 0, which is the y-axis, is the asymptote. Therefore, we want to plot the graph cannot cross the y-axis even from the right hand side here. Okay, so this will be how it look like. Then label the graph y equals to 2 over x squared plus 3x minus 1. C. Part 1. On the same grid, draw the graph of 2y minus 5x equals 7 for the range of x from -3 to 3 inclusive. 2 marks. So from the equation given 2y minus 5x equal to 7, I want to rearrange this equation so that it is in the form of y equals to mx plus c. So what I need to do is I will move this minus 5x to the right side. It becomes 2y equals to 5x plus 7. Then I will divide by 2 for both sides. I will get y equals to 5 by 2 x plus 7 by 2. Now it is in the form of y equals to mx plus c form. So the next thing I want to do is I will build a table with some values for the x and some value for the y. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I will choose x value, which is small and easy to calculate. Let's choose x equal to 0, substitute into this equation, then the y will be 3.5. Okay, and next thing, I also can choose the y value. Let's choose it as 0. I will reverse the calculation and get the x value. So if I do that, I'll get the x is negative 1.4. Next, I will choose one more value for an x which is easy to calculate and within the range given from -3 to 3. So let's choose x equal to 2. Calculate from this equation, I'll get y equals to 8.5. One more value for x. Let's choose -2 and substitute again into this equation. I'll calculate the y value is negative 1.5. Okay, so once I have the table, I can start to plot the graph for the first point. 0, 3.5 will be here. The second point will be here. Negative 1.4, 0. The third point is here, 2, 8.5. And the last point is here, -2, -1.5. So next, I will take out a ruler, join these few points together to get a straight line. Then don't forget to label the equation of the line 2y minus 5x equal to 7. Part 2, write down the x-coordinates of the points where the line intersects the curve. 2 marks. Okay, so to answer this question, we need to identify where are the intersection points. So this is the first intersection point, and I want to read the x value here, which gives me negative 0.75. The next intersection point will be here, and we want to read the x value here, which is 0.8. Okay, now your value may be a bit different from mine. Okay, because we are using the graph to find the values, it might not be that accurate. But based on the calculation, right, we get the values for these two x's are negative 0.644 and 0.694. Okay, so you can check if your answer is about or very close to these two values, then most likely it is correct. You don't have to really follow exactly the values that I have here. Part 3. These values of x are solutions for the equation x cubed plus ax squared plus b equals to 0. Find the value of a and the value of b. 3 marks. Okay, so to answer this question, the first thing is, let's see what do we have. We have this equation y equals to 2 over x squared plus 3x minus 1. And we have another equation 2y minus 5x equals to 7. I will label this as the first equation. This is the first equation and this is the second equation. Then I substitute the first equation into the second equation, which I get 2 bracket 2 over x squared plus 3x minus 1. Then close bracket minus 5x minus 7 equal to 0. Okay, so once I reach this step, I will just expand the brackets, simplify, and rearrange the equation so that it will be in the form of x cubed plus ax squared plus b equal to 0. I will compare it with this equation to get the value of a and b. Okay, so let's expand. I'll get 4x squared plus 6x minus 2 minus 5x minus 7 equal to 0. So simplify, because minus 2 minus 7 I get negative 9. 6x minus 5x I get x. The next thing I want to do is I'll multiply x squared for both sides. I'll get x cubed minus 9x squared plus 4 equal to 0. Now I can compare this equation with the equation given. So from here, I will see that A equals to -9 and then B equals to 4. Question 5. Given this diagram, A, B, C, and D are points on the circle centered O. EB is a tangent to the circle at B and OE is a straight line that passes through point C. Angle OEB equals 36 degrees and angle OCD equals 43 degrees. A. Find angle BAD. Give reasons for each steps of your working. 4 marks. So this is the angle BAD that we need to find. Given that EB is a tangent to the circle, then angle OBE equals 90 degrees because the radius is perpendicular to the tangent. Therefore, we can find angle BOC, which is 180 degrees minus 90 degrees minus 36 degrees, because this is the angle sum of triangle BOE. Therefore, angle BOC is 54 degrees. Next, OB equals to OC, because they are the radius of the circle. Then we can say that triangle BOC is isosceles triangle. Then we can find angle OCB, which is 180 degrees minus 54 degrees divided by 2. The reason is because the base angles of isosceles triangles are equal. Then angle OCB is 63 degrees. So once we found the angle OCB, then we can say that angle BAD plus 63 degrees plus 43 degrees equals 180 degrees. The reason is because opposite angles in cyclic quadrilateral. Then angle BAD equals 74 degrees. Hence, the answer is 74 degrees. B. The radius of the circle is 8 centimeters. Calculate the perimeter of the shaded shape. 4 marks. So in other words, we need to find the perimeter of the whole diagram. So first, we need to look at the triangle OBE. From this triangle, we can say that tangent 36 degrees equals 8 over BE. Then we can calculate the length of BE, which is 8 over tangent 36 degrees. The value will be 11.011 centimeters. Next, also the same triangle, we can apply Pythagoras theorem, which is OE square equals OB square plus BE square. Hence, OE will be square root of 8 square plus 11.011 square. They will calculate the value, we'll get OE equals 13.6104 centimeters. So once we get OE, then we can calculate the length of CE, which is 13.6104 minus 8 centimeters, because OE minus the radius. And the value of CE will be 5.6104 centimeters. So next, we need to find the arc length of BADC, which is 360 degrees minus 54 degrees divided by 360 degrees times with 2 pi r, which is 8. They will calculate the value. We have 42.7257. So now we have all the required length. We can calculate the perimeter of the diagram, which is BE plus arc BADC plus CE. They will substitute the values that we have calculated and sum them together. We get the perimeter value is 59.3 centimeters, rounded off to 3 significant figures. Hence, the answer is 59.3. Question 6. A. Vector P equals -4, 5 and vector Q equals 2, -3. X is the point 7, 3 and Y is the point 3, 4. Vector XY equals M vector P plus N vector Q, where M and N are constants. Find the value of M and the value of N. 3 marks. So from the question, given that vector xy equals m vector p plus n vector q. And vector xy can be written as vector xo plus vector oy. Then equals to m bracket -4, 5 plus n bracket 2, -3, because these are the vectors given for p and q. From here, we substitute inside the equation. So how to get vector xo and vector oy? From the coordinates given by the question, for the x, we can find the position vector of x, which is 7, 3. So xo will be the opposite direction of position vector of x. Then it becomes -7, -3. Similar for coordinates of y, 3, 4, we can find the position vector of oy, which is 3, 4 in this manner. So from the right side, we just multiply the m and the n into the vector. So it will be equals to -4m, 5m, plus 2n, -3n. Then we combine them together. -7 plus 3 is -4, -3 plus 4 is 1. These two add together, -4m plus 2n. These two add together, 5m minus 3n. Then we compare the x direction, which is -4 equals -4m plus 2n. We can simplify, or we make n a subject first. 2n equals to 4m minus 4. N is 2m minus 2. I will label this as my first equation. Remember, we need to find two unknowns here. Then we need to have two equations. Then we solve simultaneous equation. So the next equation will be the y direction. 1 equals 5m minus 3n. I will label this as equation number 2. So now, I use substitution method. I will say substitute equation number 1 into equation number 2. So the equation becomes 1 equals 5m minus 3 times 2m minus 2. So substitute this n with 2m minus 2 into this equation. This is what we get. Next, expand the bracket. From here we get -6m plus 6. So I solve this equation, m will be equals to 5. Next, to find the n value, just substitute this 5 into the first equation. We have n equals 2 times 5 minus 2, which is 8. Therefore, the answer is m equals 5 and n equals 8. B. A is the point 4, 6. B is the point -5, -3, and C is the point 8, -4. D is the point -1, y, which lies on the line AB. 1. Find the value of y. 1 mark. So to answer this question, there are two ways we can do it. Either we use the vector method or we use coordinate geometry method. So let's look at the first method, which is the vector method. So since D lies on the line AB, then we can say that these 3 points are collinear. Hence, we can say that vector AB equals k vector dB. So vector AB can be written as vector AO plus vector OB. Then equals to k bracket for the vector dB can be converted into vector DO plus vector OB. So all these are the position vectors of point A, B, and D. So for vector AO, it is the opposite direction of the position vector of A, which is 4, 6 here. Hence, I can write as -4, -6. OB, vector OB will be the position vector of B, hence is -5, -3. Vector DO is the opposite direction of position vector of point D, then I can write it as 1, -y. So be careful when switch the sign. The next one, again vector OB is -5, -3, so same as this. After that, we will simplify this vector. So we combine this together, -4 plus -5, get -9, -6 plus -3, -9. So same as this bracket, 1 plus minus 5 is -4, -y plus -3 is -y minus 3. Next, we can compare the on the x direction, -9, or we can say -4k equals -9. Hence, k will be 9/4. We also can compare at the bottom, 9/4 bracket -y minus 3 equals to -9. So y plus 3 will be 4 and y equals to 1. Hence, the answer is 1. Or we can use the coordinate geometry method, where since the point D is on the line AB, we can say that the gradient of DB equals to the gradient of AB. Then we apply the gradient formula. Then it becomes y minus bracket -3 over -1 minus -5 equals -3 minus 6 over -5 minus 4. So simplify, we have y plus 3 over 4 equals 1. Y plus 3 equals 4, hence y equals to 4. Y equals to 1. 2. Find the length of DC. 2 marks. So before we want to find the length of DC, we need to identify the coordinates of point C, which is 8, -4, and the coordinates of point D is -1, 1. Next, we can apply the formula to find the length of 2 points, and we get DC equals to square root of -1 minus 8 square plus bracket 1 minus -4 square. Then we calculate, we'll get square root of 81 plus 25, which is square root of 106. Then press calculator to get the value. DC will be 10.3, rather off to 3 significant figures. Hence, the answer is 10.3 units. C is the point on the line AE such that ratio of AC to AE equals 2 to 3. Find the equation of the line BE. 4 marks. So before we want to find the equation of the line BE, we need to know the coordinates of point B and point E. So the coordinates of point B is already given, which is -5, -3. Then we need to find the coordinates of point E. Then we will let the coordinates of E is x, y. And given the ratio AC to AE equals to 2 to 3, then we can form the vector AC equals to 2 by 3 vector AE. Vector AC can be broken down into vector AO plus vector OE, that equals to 2/3, same as vector AE can be broken into vector AO plus vector OE. Now, we can expand the bracket. Vector AO plus OC equals to 2/3 vector AO plus 2/3 vector OE. Then 2/3 vector OE equals to 1/3 vector AO plus vector OC. Okay, because I move this to the left hand side, AO minus 2/3 vector AO becomes 1/3 vector AO. Then we can substitute vector AO with the position vector of point A, which is -4, -6, and vector OC is position vector of point C is 8, -4. Calculate over here, we get 20 over 3, -6. Hence, vector OE will be 10, -9, which means coordinates of point E is 10, -9. So once we know the coordinates of point E, then we can form the equation of the line BE. First, we need to find the gradient of the line BE, which is -3 minus -9 divided by -5 minus 10. So remember the gradient formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Calculate the value, we get -2 over 5. So the equation of line is y equals to mx plus c. So for this case, y equals to -2 over 5x plus c. So I will choose the coordinates of E, which is x equals to 10 and y equals to -9. Substitute these two values into the equation. I will get -9 equals -2 over 5 times 10 plus c. Calculate this equation, we get c value is -5. Once I have the gradient and I have the value of c, I can write the equation of the straight line, which is y equals to mx plus c, and the value will be -2 by 5x minus 5. Question 7. A. The students and teachers at a school record the time it took them to travel to school. The box and whisker plots show the distribution of the results. 1. There are 18 teachers who took more than 50 minutes to travel to school. Work out the number of teachers in the school. 1 mark. So from the box and whisker plot, we can see that when the time is 50 minutes, this is the upper quartile of the teachers. So upper quartile means the last 25%, it is equals to 18 teachers. To find the total number of teachers, we can use unitary method. If 25% is to 18 teachers, then 1% will be 18 divided by 25 teachers. So the total number of teachers will be 100%, hence it will be 18 divided by 25 times 100, which is 72. Therefore, there are 72 teachers in total in the school. 2. Make a comment comparing the averages and a comment comparing the distributions of the times taken by the students and the teachers. Use figures to support your answers. 3 marks. So to make a comment, we need to compare two things. One is the median and another one is the interquartile range. So let's look at the median for the teachers. On the diagram, it is 36. The median for the students is 28. We can say that median time for students is 28 minutes, while median time for teachers is 36 minutes. So this means that traveling time for students is shorter than teachers on average. Next, we want to compare the interquartile range. So this is the interquartile range for the students, which is 34 minus 16, and the value is 18. This is the interquartile range for the teachers, which is 50 minus 32, and the value is 18. So we can see that both the teachers and the students have the same interquartile range. So both the students and teachers have the same interquartile range, which is 18. Hence, the traveling times to school for both groups have the same consistency. B. In a class of 24 students, 8 walk to school, 6 cycle to school, and the rest travel to school by bus. 1. One student is selected from the class at random. Find the probability that the student travels to school by bus. 1 mark. So before I want to find the probability that the student travel to school by bus, we need to find how many students travel by bus. To get the number, just take the total minus the number of students who walk to school and the number of students who cycle. So it will be 24 minus 8 minus 6, which is 10. Therefore, the probability of the students to travel to school by bus is 10 out of 24. Simplify, we get 5 out of 12. Hence, 5 over 12 is the answer. 2. Two students are selected from the class at random. Find the probability that they both use the same type of transport to travel to school. 2 marks. So, the probability that both of them travel at the same transport will be either both of them walk, or both of them cycle, or both of them go to school by bus. So P walk times P walk plus P cycle times P cycle plus P bus times P bus. So the first probability will be 8 out of 24 times 7 out of 23. Alright, because there are 8 students who walk to school. When we talk about the first students, is total 8 students out of 24. And then the second student, now left is 7 students out of the total 23 students. Okay, because the first one already selected, then you need to reduce by 1. Next, same for the cycle. So at first there are 6 students out of 24. This is the probability to choose the first student. And the second student, the number will be reduced by 1, so it's 5 out of 23. Same as for the bus, is 10 out of 24, because we have 10 students, we get from here. Out of total 24 students, this is the probability to get a first student. And the second student, they reduce by 1, so it's 9 by 23. Then we calculate everything using calculator, we get 22 over 69. Hence, the answer is 22/69. Part 3. 3 of the students are selected from the class at random. Find the probability that 2 of them walk to school and the other does not. 2 marks. To find the probability that 2 of the students walk and 1 of them does not, then the combination will be the first 2 students walk to school, the third student does not. Or the first and the third students walk to school, the second student does not. Or the first student does not walk to school and the second and third students walk to school. Hence, the probability will be 8/24 times 7/23 times 16/22 plus 8/24 times 16/23 times 7/22 plus 16/24 times 8/23 times 7/22. Then notice that these numbers are actually 8/24 times 7/23 times 16/22 times 3. We calculate everything, we will get 56 out of 253. Hence, the answer is 56 out of 253. Question 8. A. The diagram shows part of a number grid. A cross outlining 5 numbers as shown is placed on a grid. 1. The cross is placed in a different position on the grid. The sum of the largest and the smallest of the numbers outlined is 204. Complete the cross to show the numbers outlined. 3 marks. Alright, so before we want to get the answer, let's study the number grid. So this is the cross outlining the 5 numbers. Let n to be the middle number. And the number at the top is A, the number at the left is B, the number at the right is C, and the number at the bottom is D. And we can see that n equals A plus D over 2 or B plus C over 2. A is the smallest number, which is n minus 8. And D is the largest number, which is n plus 8. For B, it will be one number smaller than n, hence n minus 1. D will be 1 greater than n, hence is n plus 1. So given that the largest and the smallest, the sum of the largest and the smallest of the numbers outlined is 204, then n will be 204 divided by 2, which is 102. So the middle number will be 102, which means the number at the left will be 101, the number at the right will be 103. The number at the top will be 94 because 102 minus 8 we get 94. And the number at the bottom will be 110, which is 102 plus 8. So this will be the answer. 2. The cross can be placed anywhere on a grid. The difference between the product of the left and the right numbers and the product of the top and bottom number is found. Show that this difference is always 63. 3 marks. So as described from the question, this will be the positions of the number. So the middle number will n. The number at the top is top, then left, right, and bottom. So the top number, as we have analyzed in a previous question, is n minus 8. Bottom number will be n plus 8. Left is n minus 1, and the right number is n plus 1. So the top number multiplied with the bottom number will be n plus 8 times n minus 8. Expand, we get n squared minus 64. The left number multiplied with the right number will be n minus 1 times n plus 1. We expand, we get n squared minus 1. Hence, the difference will be n squared minus 1 minus bracket n squared minus 64. Expand the bracket, we have n squared minus 1 minus n squared plus 64, which is 63. Hence, this shows that the difference is always 63. B. The nth term of a sequence is given by Tn equals n squared minus 1 over 3n minus 1. The term Tk equals 15 over 4. Find the value of Tk plus 1. 4 marks. Alright, to answer this question, the first thing we need to do is we need to know the value of k. So given that Tk equals to 15 over 4, we can substitute n equals to k into the equation. Therefore, it becomes k squared minus 1 over 3k minus 1 equals 15 over 4. We cross multiply the equation, we get 4k squared minus 4 equals 45k minus 15. Then bring everything to the left hand side, we'll get a quadratic equation which is 4k squared minus 45k plus 11 equals to 0. We factorize this quadratic equation, we get k minus 11 times 4k minus 1 equals 0. We solve it, we get the k value equals to 11 or 4k equals to 1 over 4. Since k is an integer, then we reject the answer 1 over 4. Then Tk plus 1 will be T12. We substitute n equals to 12 into the equation. We becomes 12 squared minus 1 over 3 times 12 minus 1. We calculate the value, we get 143 over 35. Or we can leave the answer in the proper fraction, which is 4 and 3 over 35. Hence, the answer is 4 and 3 over 35. Question 9. Chen is considering installing solar panels at his home. He wants to estimate the area of solar panels he will need to generate the amount of electricity used by his household. He finds this information on the internet. Find the average amount of electricity measured in kilowatt hours (kWh) used in one day. Find the number of peak sunlight hours you receive a day. Solar panel output in daily watt hours equals solar panel watts times peak sunlight hours times 75%. All solar panels should be of the same type. 1 kilowatt hour is the amount of energy used in 1 hour by an appliance with a power rating of 1 kilowatt. 1 kilowatt equals 1000 watts. He does more research about peak sunlight hours and the specifications of common solar panels. So here is what he has found, and also this table. Question A. A games console has a power rating of 165 watts. Calculate the amount of energy in kilowatt hour used in 5 hours by the games console. 1 mark. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we change 165 watt into kilowatt, which is 0.165 kilowatts. Now energy use is 0.165 kilowatts times with the time, which is 5 hours. We'll get 0.825 kilowatt hours. Hence, the answer is 0.825. B. Assuming all months have equal number of days. Calculate the average daily peak sunlight hours in Singapore over the 12-month period. 2 marks. So to get the answer for this question, we need to look at this diagram. So the average daily peak sunlight hours will be the sum of all the average daily peak light by months, which is this number. So January is 4.7, February is 4.9, March is 5.0, and so on. We plus all the way to the last month, December, which is 4.0. And then we divide by 12 months. We calculate, we get 53.3 divided by 12, which is 4.44. Rounded off to 3 significant figures. Hence, the answer is 4.44 hours. Given this diagram. C. The graph shows the electricity used by Chen's household for the past 4 years. Find an estimate of the total area of solar panels Chen will need for his home. Justify any decision you make and show your calculations clearly. 7 marks. Okay, so this is a very big question. The marks is very high, 7 marks. So what we need to do is we need to follow the instructions given. First is to find the average amount of electricity measured in kilowatt hours used in one day. So this is cumulative usage in kilowatt hour. So we will look at the last year, year number 5. On December, the cumulative usage is 3,100 kilowatt hours. Then we divide by 365 days. The average daily electricity will be 8.493 kilowatt hours. Next, the second instruction is find the number of peak sun hours you receive a day. So we have found the average daily peak sunlight hours in the previous question, which is 53.3 divided by 12 hours. The next step we need to do is we need to calculate how much is the solar panel watts required. We'll use this formula: solar panel output in daily watt hours equals solar panel watts times peak sunlight hours times 75%. So using this formula, let's substitute the values given. So the solar panel output in daily watt hours will be 8,493. Then it is equals to the solar panel watts that we need to find, and then times with the peak sunlight hours, which is 53.3 over 12, then times with 75%. Hence, the solar panel watts required will be 8,493 times 12 times 100 over 53.3 times 75, which is 2,550 watts, rounded off to 3 significant figures. Now, we already know the required solar panel watts, which is 2,550 watts. We can calculate how many solar panels are needed for each type given by looking at the specification of each type of the solar panel. So for number of panels needed for type A will be the required wattage divided by the wattage generated by one panel of type A. So for this case is 2,550 divided by 300, which is 8.5 or 9 panels. So we do the same thing for type B. Number of panels needed for type B will be 2,550 and the specification is 370 watt. We get 6.89, which is about 7 panels. Same for number of panels needed for type C, 2,550 divided by 390, we get 6.54, which is about 7 panels. And lastly, number of panels needed for type D, 2,550 divided by 400, we get 6.375, which is also about 7 panels. Among these panels, we'll reject type A as it needs more panels. Now, we have rejected type A solar panel. So we have to consider which type B, type C, or type D will be the best choice by looking at the size of the solar panels. So the total area for type B needed will be 1.96 times 1.00 times 7. Okay, so 1.96 meters is the length of the panel, 1 meter is the width of the panel, and we need 7 panels. Then the total area will be 13.72 meters squared. We do the same thing to find the total area of type C solar panel, which is 1.98 times 1.00 times 7, we get 13.86 meters squared. Same for to find the total area of type D, which is 1.69 times 1.05 times 7, we have 12.4215 meters squared. So from here, we can see that choosing solar panel type D is the best choice as it takes the smallest area. Hence, the total area of solar panels Chen will need for his home is 12.4215 meters squared. Alright, that's the end of the paper, and that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Do you have any question or doubts to ask? Feel free to write it down in the comment. I would love to hear from you. Do you like this video? Please don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Until then, see you in the next video. Have a great day ahead and all the best.